7 Buddhist Teachings for a Happier You. Hello and welcome to Zen Buddhism Wisdom. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the truth about happiness. Have you ever wondered why no matter how much success, love, or wealth we achieve, true fulfillment often feels just out of reach? What if I told you that happiness isn't something to be chased, it's something that has been within you all along? In our fast-paced world, we are conditioned to believe that joy comes from external achievements, but the Buddha taught a different path, one that leads inward. True happiness is not about what you have. It's about how you think, how you live, and how you see the world. In this video, we'll explore 7 profound Buddhist teachings that can help you cultivate a deep and lasting sense of peace. These are not just philosophical ideas, they are practical, life-changing insights that you can start applying today. And trust me, you won't want to miss the last teaching, because it reveals the secret that most people overlook, the key to genuine and lasting happiness. Are you ready to begin? Let's dive in. 1. Live in the present. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Think about how much of our lives we spend dwelling on what has already happened or worrying about what is yet to come. Regret chains us to events that cannot be changed, while anxiety shackles us to an uncertain future. But what if happiness is only available right now? In truth, the past is no longer here, and the future has not yet arrived. The only reality we ever truly have is this very moment. Yet how often do we allow it to slip away unnoticed? There was once a young monk who was always troubled by his regrets about the past and fears of the future. His teacher, seeing his distress, took him outside and pointed to a tall tree. "Look at this tree," the teacher said. "It does not worry about the past, nor does it fear the future. It simply stands deeply rooted in the present moment." The young monk pondered this deeply. The tree did not regret the storm that had bent its branches yesterday, nor did it fear the possibility of being struck by lightning tomorrow. It simply existed fully, embracing the now. In that moment, the monk realized something profound. Peace and happiness are found only in the present moment. How do we apply this wisdom in daily life? Start each morning with 5 minutes of mindfulness. As soon as you wake up, take a deep breath and simply be aware of the present. Feel the air filling your lungs, listen to the sounds around you, and ground yourself in the now. Throughout the day, whenever your mind begins to wander into worry or regret, gently bring it back. Pay attention to the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breath, and the simple beauty of life happening all around you. Because this moment, right now, is where happiness truly lives. 2. Practice compassion. Compassion is not just about being kind to others, it is a powerful path to inner joy. Neuroscience has even confirmed that acts of kindness release oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which reduces stress and increases feelings of happiness. But thousands of years before science confirmed it, the Buddha already knew this truth. A man once asked The Buddha, why should I help others? What do I gain from it? The Buddha smiled and replied, imagine lighting a candle for someone lost. In darkness, you may help them. See but your own. Light does not diminish. In fact, it shines even brighter. By helping others, we are not losing anything. We are enriching ourselves. There was once a traveler who came across a frozen lake where a small bird lay, dying. The traveler picked up the fragile creature and warmed it in his hands. He carried it to a nearby village where he found a safe place for it to recover. Years later, that same traveler lost everything: his wealth, his home, and his fortune. Despairing, he wandered into that same village. To his surprise, a man welcomed him with open arms, offering him food and shelter. It was the very same man who had taken in the bird years ago. The kindness the traveler had once given had found its way back to him. So, how can we practice compassion in our daily lives? Start each morning with a simple practice called metta meditation, the meditation of loving kindness. Silently wish for happiness, not just for yourself, but for others as well. Even those who may have wronged you. Perform one act of kindness every day. It doesn't have to be grand. Even a simple smile, a kind word, or a moment of patience can change someone's day, and in doing so, it will change yours too. 3. Embrace simplicity. Modern society constantly tells us that happiness comes from acquiring more: a bigger house, a better car, the latest phone. But the Buddha's wisdom teaches the opposite. The less we desire, the happier we become. A king once asked a wise monk, "How can I be truly happy?" The monk handed him a cup of water, filled to the very brim, and told him to walk across the palace without spilling a drop. The king concentrated intensely, ensuring that not a single drop was lost. When he finally reached the other side, the monk asked, "Did you notice the beautiful garden, the birds singing?" The king shook his head. "No, I was too focused on the cup." The monk smiled. This is how most people live, so obsessed with accumulating and protecting their possessions that they miss the beauty of life itself. Happiness does not come from having more. It comes from needing less. How can we practice this? Declutter your space. The physical environment reflects the state of the mind. A clutter-free home leads to a clutter-free heart. Spend less on things and more on experiences. Memories last longer than possessions. Learn to appreciate what you already have, because in the end, true wealth is not measured by how much we own, but by how little we need. 4. Detach from desire. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. It is not the loss itself that brings pain, but the way we cling to things, whether material possessions, relationships, or even ideas about ourselves. The tighter we hold on, the more we suffer. When life inevitably changes, we do not suffer because we lack. We suffer because we fear losing what we have. But what if the secret to happiness is not in holding on, but in letting go? There was once a man who discovered a golden statue buried in a field. Overjoyed by his fortune, he brought it home and placed it in a locked chest. Each day he would check on it, polish it, and ensure no one knew of its existence. At first, he felt immense joy at owning something so valuable. But over time, his happiness turned into fear that someone might steal it, feared that he might lose it. His mind, once peaceful, became restless. He could not sleep soundly, could not enjoy his days, and could not trust anyone. Then, one night, his worst fear came true. The statue was stolen. Devastated, he wept for days, believing that his happiness had been taken, along with the gold. What he failed to realize was that his suffering did not come from losing the statue. His suffering had begun the moment he became attached to it. The gold had never imprisoned him. His attachment had. Many of us live like the man with the golden statue. We attach our happiness to things we believe. We own money, success, relationships, even our own youth and health. But the truth is, we do not truly own anything. Everything in life is temporary. Possessions wear out. People change. Moments pass. The body ages. When we cling to what is impermanent, we invite suffering. Because no matter how hard we try, we cannot stop time, control people, or keep things exactly as they are. But here is the paradox: when we let go of attachment, we gain something far greater: peace. Every time you feel anxiety, sadness, or frustration, pause and ask, what am I afraid of losing? What expectation am I holding on to? Often, our suffering is not about the present moment, but about resisting change. Nothing lasts forever, and that is okay. Instead of fearing change, embrace it as the natural flow of life. The sun rises and it sets. The tide comes in and it goes out. Everything has its time. If something is beyond your control, release it, instead of worrying about it. If a relationship no longer serves you, let it evolve or let it go. If a past mistake haunts you, forgive yourself and move forward. Letting go does not mean becoming indifferent. It means loving without clinging, caring without controlling, and living without fearing loss. The most beautiful things in life are the ones we appreciate fully, in the moment, without trying to own them. Imagine holding a fistful of sand. The tighter you grip it, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you open your hand, the sand rests gently in your palm. Life is the same way. When we hold on too tightly, we suffer. But when we let go, we make room for peace, for joy, for freedom. Happiness is not about having what we want. It is about learning to let go of what we do not need. 5. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a lens through which life becomes richer, brighter, and more fulfilling. It does not change our external circumstances, but it transforms how we see them. Instead of focusing on what is missing, gratitude opens our eyes to the abundance that already exists. Too often we chase after more money, more success, more recognition, believing that happiness lies somewhere just beyond our reach. But the truth is, happiness is not about having more. It is about noticing more. The Buddha once said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we did not learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. If we did not learn a little, at least we did not get sick. And if we got sick, at least we did not die." So let us all be thankful. This simple yet profound teaching reminds us that there is always something to be grateful for. Even in difficult times, life is not perfect, and it never will be. But gratitude teaches us to embrace what is, rather than mourn what is not. Modern research has confirmed what Buddhism has taught. For centuries, practicing gratitude rewires the brain for happiness. Studies show that people who regularly express gratitude sleep better, experience less stress and anxiety, have stronger relationships, and feel a deeper sense of joy and purpose. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice. The more we cultivate it, the more naturally it flows into our lives. There was once a poor farmer who worked tirelessly in his fields. Despite his struggles, he always wore a smile. One day, a wealthy merchant passing by asked, "You own so little, yet you seem so happy. What is your secret?" The farmer replied, "Every morning I wake up and thank the sun for its warmth, the earth for its food, and the wind for its cool breeze. I may not have much in gold, but I am rich in blessings." The merchant, though possessing great wealth, realized that he had never felt such contentment. From that day forward, he, too, began a daily practice of gratitude. True wealth is not measured by what we own, but by how deeply we appreciate what we have. Each night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be grand. Even a kind word from a friend or a beautiful sunset is enough. The more you practice, the more your mind will naturally seek out the good in each day. Say thank you often, not just to others, but to life itself. Thank your body for carrying you through the day. Thank the food that nourishes you. Thank the challenges that help you grow. The next time you feel like complaining, pause. Instead of saying, "I have to go to work," reframe it as, "I get to go to work." Instead of "I have so many problems," shift to "I have the strength to face challenges." Throughout the day, take a few moments to notice the little things: a deep breath, the laughter of a child, the feeling of sunshine on your skin. Life is full of small miracles if we pay attention. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's difficulties. It is about choosing where to place your focus. A person who has everything but lacks gratitude will always feel empty. But a person who has little yet appreciates it deeply will feel rich beyond measure. Happiness does not come from what we have, it comes from how we see. And when we see through the eyes of gratitude, life itself becomes a gift. 6. Meditate daily. A young monk once asked his teacher, "How do I find peace?" The teacher simply smiled and replied, "Sit still, quiet your mind, listen." At first, the monk did not understand. He had come seeking wisdom, expecting a profound teaching or a sacred mantra. But the teacher offered him no elaborate rituals, no secret techniques, just silence. Confused but obedient, the young monk followed his teacher's advice. For the first few minutes, his mind raced with thoughts. He remembered past mistakes, worried about future uncertainties, and felt restless in the stillness. But then, something remarkable happened. As he continued to sit, simply breathing, simply being, the noise in his head began to fade. A deep sense of calm washed over him, as if he had stepped out of a storm and into a quiet, sunlit clearing. It was in that silence that he discovered something profound. Peace was not something to be found outside. It had been within him all along. Think of meditation like training the body. If you go to the gym once, you will not immediately become strong. But if you exercise consistently, your muscles grow, your endurance increases, and your body becomes healthier. Meditation is the same. It strengthens the mind, sharpens focus, and cultivates inner peace. Yet, many people believe meditation means stopping thoughts or achieving instant enlightenment. This is a misunderstanding. The goal of meditation is not to force the mind into silence, but to observe it with patience. Imagine sitting by a river, watching leaves float by. Each leaf represents a thought. You do not have to chase them, nor do you have to push them away. You simply watch them come and go without attachment. Over time, this practice rewires the brain. Scientific studies show that regular meditation reduces stress, IMPROVEs, emotional regulation, and even increases gray matter in the brain, enhancing memory, creativity, and decision-making. Start small. Even 5 minutes a day can change your life. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably in a place free from distractions. You do not need a special cushion or incense. Just a simple chair or a quiet corner will do. Close your eyes and breathe. Take a deep breath in through your nose, then exhale slowly. Feel the rhythm of your breath as it moves in and out. Observe, do not judge. Thoughts will come, and that is okay. Instead of getting frustrated, simply notice them. Imagine them like clouds drifting across the sky. Let them pass. Return to the present. Every time your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. At first, your thoughts may seem uncontrollable, like a wild horse resisting the reins. But with patience and practice, they will settle. The mind, once chaotic, will become as calm as a still lake, reflecting the world with perfect clarity. In the modern world, we are constantly bombarded with noise, notifications, emails, social media, endless distractions. We live in a state of perpetual movement, always rushing, always striving. But the greatest wisdom often emerges in stillness. The Buddha once told a story of a man who was walking through a forest. He came across a pond but found the water muddy and unclear. Frustrated, he tried to stir the water, hoping to see through it, but the more he disturbed it, the cloudier it became. Finally, exhausted, he stopped, and in that stillness, the dirt began to settle. The water became clear, revealing the reflection of the sky. Our minds are the same. When we constantly react, overthink, and analyze, clarity eludes us. But when we sit in stillness, when we allow our thoughts to settle, we begin to see, with newfound wisdom, This is why great Zen masters, philosophers, and even modern neuroscientists all emphasize meditation. It is not just an ancient practice. It is a timeless key to unlocking clarity, creativity, and deep inner peace. A common saying in Zen Buddhism is, you should sit in meditation for 20 minutes every day unless you are too busy, then you should sit for an hour. Why? Because the busier we are, the more chaotic our minds become, and the more we need stillness. Meditation is not a waste of time. It is a way to reclaim it. As you make meditation a daily practice, you will notice profound changes. Stress will no longer control you. Anxiety will lose its grip. You will move through life with greater awareness, patience, and serenity. The small frustrations that once disturbed you will feel insignificant. You will find beauty in the simplest moments, a drop of rain sliding down a window, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the laughter of a loved one. Because meditation is not about escaping life, it is about fully awakening to it. So, take a deep breath. Sit still, quiet your mind, listen. Peace is already within you. You just have to notice it. 7. Follow the middle way. Life is a delicate dance between excess and deprivation. Too much indulgence, and we become enslaved by our cravings. Too much deprivation, and we suffocate under rigid discipline. The Buddha, after years of extreme asceticism and luxurious palace life, discovered a truth that would become the cornerstone of his teachings, the middle way. Imagine a musician tuning a guitar. If the strings are too loose, they produce no sound. If they are too tight, they snap. But when tuned just right, they create beautiful music. This is the essence of balance, not only in music but in life itself. We often swing between extremes. Some people chase wealth, power, or pleasure, believing these things will bring lasting happiness. Others reject all worldly desires, thinking detachment alone will lead to enlightenment, but both approaches lead to suffering. The middle way is the path of balance, where we neither cling to excess nor deny ourselves the joys of existence. A young seeker once approached a Zen master and asked, "What is the best way to live?" The master handed him a bowl of water and told him to carry it across a narrow bridge. "Do not spill a drop," he warned. The young man carefully took the bowl and began to walk. At first he moved too fast and water splashed over the sides. Realizing his mistake, he slowed down so much that his steps became unsteady, almost making him fall. He finally adjusted his pace neither too fast nor too slow and crossed the bridge with ease. The master smiled and said, "This is life. If you rush, you lose balance. If you go too slow, you become stagnant. Find the rhythm that allows you to move forward with grace." Many people today are trapped in a cycle of overwork, believing that success means sacrificing health, family, and peace of mind. But what use is wealth if you have no time to enjoy it at the same time? Doing nothing leads to idleness and regret. True success lies in working with purpose while also making space for rest and reflection. Pleasure itself is not bad. A delicious meal, a beautiful sunset, a moment of laughter with friends. These are gifts of life. But when we chase pleasure endlessly, we become addicted to it, always seeking more, yet never feeling satisfied. The middle way teaches us to enjoy life's blessings without becoming dependent on them. Many spiritual seekers believe they must abandon all comforts and live in extreme austerity. But the Buddha himself abandoned extreme self-denial after realizing that it brought only suffering. Growth requires discipline, but also self-compassion. Progress comes not from punishing ourselves, but from walking the path with awareness and kindness. Some people suppress their emotions, believing that showing feelings is a weakness. Others let emotions completely control them, reacting impulsively and creating suffering. The middle way invites us to acknowledge our emotions without being ruled by them. Feel deeply, but respond wisely. Happiness is not found in extremes. It is not in having everything, nor in rejecting everything. It is in harmony, knowing when to hold on and when to let go, when to push forward and when to rest. A river that flows too fast erodes the land. A river that does not move becomes stagnant, but a river that flows steadily nourishes everything in its path. This is the middle way, and this is the key to a peaceful, fulfilling life. These 7 Buddhist teachings are not just ancient wisdom, they are guiding lights that can transform the way we experience life. Living in the present teaches us to release the burdens of the past and the worries of the future, allowing happiness to blossom in the only moment we truly have now. Practicing compassion opens our hearts, showing us that when we bring joy to others, we ignite a deeper joy within ourselves. Embracing simplicity reminds us that true contentment does not come from having more, but from needing less. Detaching from desire frees us from the endless cycle of craving, teaching us that happiness is not in holding on, but in learning to let go. Cultivating gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us see that life's greatest blessings are often the smallest moments. Through daily meditation, we quiet the noise of the mind and rediscover the profound peace that has always been within us. And by following the middle way, we find harmony, a path that neither clings to pleasure nor rejects the beauty of life, but walks the delicate balance of moderation and wisdom. These teachings remind us that happiness is not something outside of us. It is something we awaken to by changing how we think, how we act, and how we see the world. The journey to inner peace does not happen overnight, but every small step brings us closer to the truth that happiness is not a destination. It is the way we walk through life. This video comes to an end here. How do you feel about these teachings? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more insightful content on Buddhism and spiritual wisdom. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.